So my name is Joy Villa, and I'm incredibly blessed and fortunate to have been added to this panel. I am a singer-songwriter. I hit #1 on iTunes and Amazon, #1 on Billboard and rock and alternative with my first independently produced album, I Make the Static. Yeah, you can clap for that. A dream come true for an independent artist, for any artist. And I did it completely independently. Maybe some of you guys remember this Make America Great Again dress I wore at the Grammys. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's what started it, to where people knew who I was. I took a bold move to step out on that red carpet and basically be anti what society was telling me I should be and do and say. Flash backwards, I would say, growing up, I was not raised conservative. My dad was conservative, but I would definitely categorize myself as a social justice warrior. #feminist, all these things. And I thought I was doing the right thing. So when hate speech would come around, I'd be like, well, yeah, nobody wants hate speech. Isn't that bad? That's being mean to people. Well, through my education and being a conservative now and seeing the truth of the matter is there is no such thing as hate speech. Hate speech is free speech. Hate speech is speech you don't like. Hate speech is something you say to someone because you want to shut them down. Being on the flip side, now being a conservative, having voted for Trump, being very outspokenly pro-life, pro-Trump, pro-conservative values and self-respect and integrity, limited government. These things have garnered me fans, yes, but death threats, rape threats, tons of attacks. I mean, it's incredible the type of things people will say to you. I know what you look like. You don't know what I look like. I'm going to find you. Watch your back. These are threats from adults. These are threats from people of color. All liberals being called the N-word repeatedly by white liberals who say it's okay to say that. I'm canceled as a black person or as a Latina because I'm pro-Trump, because I'm conservative. Anybody doubts that there's a bias? I mean, does anybody doubt in this room that there is a bias towards conservatives on social media? No. How many of you guys have social media in this room? I mean, that's everybody. So social media is not something where we can say, well, just don't go on it. It is literally the town hall. It is literally something like getting power or water. That's how I see it as an independent businesswoman. I could not have made my #1 hit. I could not have hit #1 on the charts on Billboard independently without social media. How would people know how to find me? How would people know where to buy my stuff? So if I get taken off of Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram, I essentially, as an artist, do not exist. And this is why I'm so passionate to fight for freedom of speech and against censorship of big tech, censorship by the big tech companies. It is not just, oh, it's her problem, or it's his problem, or it's that person's problem. It's everybody's problem. And until it happens to you, you don't see that it's your problem. You think, oh, they're being a little bit too sensitive about it. Like Alex Jones, yeah, but isn't he weird? Doesn't he say some weird stuff? Yeah, but Laura Loomer, isn't she an extremist? Like, aren't these people kind of fringe anyway? Didn't they ask for it? Didn't they do bad things? Shame on them. Until it starts happening to moderate conservatives, and then liberals, and then everybody's banned. This is a religion of wokeness we're in right now. 2019, the religion, the cult of wokeness. You cannot be woke enough. As many celebrities, no matter their protective bearing of being black or gay or Latin or white, they're still not allowed to host the Oscars because they did one tweet years ago, cracked one joke. So celebrities, even like Snoop Dogg, are coming on board and saying, wait a second, you ban Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that's someone he follows. He says, wait, if you're banning him, I'm not going to be on Twitter anymore. I'm not going to be on social media. So even some celebrities out there are starting to take notice. And I want to back what Ms. Medvin said. You have to support people you don't agree with. We have to support free speech for Nazis, for liberals, for Hillary Clinton, for anybody we disagree with, for prejudiced people, for religions that we disagree with. Because at the end of the day, if we are fully for free speech, for our constitutional right to speak up, and everybody deserves that, then we need to fight for the people we don't like. I'm going to broaden it a little bit to the black population or my black community. It's interesting because I publicly walked away, and I've espoused why. I mean, I've spoken very broadly or very strongly about why I've walked away, because being a Democrat did not align with my values. And when I talk to Black Americans, I just talk to them like I would talk to my family, because half my family's Black. And I say, listen, are you really in favor of these taxes? Are you really in favor of paying for somebody else's, welfare when you can barely put food on your table? When you want to feed your own family? Are you really in favor of having your religious freedoms taken away, of taking God out of schools? Are you really in favor of terminating life of a child? And they go, I'm really not. It's kind of, everybody has to find their own way, right, to do it. Like Laura does her branding. Everybody's going to do their thing. You wrote an amazing book about this. I wear dresses at award shows. And that's what I do. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at the Daytime Emmys, my first invite ever to the Daytime Emmys. And there was an Emmy Award winner. She has won 4 Emmys, and she was nominated for a 5th. And I know her, I'm not going to say who she is. She said, Joy, do not go political this time. I know you're an actress as well. You're trying to break into the Emmys. You will get blacklisted. Don't wear anything that's political. Just be normal. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, should I? And I was like, that's not me though. What's the fun in that? And also, who am I fighting for? Just, take pictures of me, duck face, looking cute. That's meaningless to me. I can look cute all day long on Instagram, but when I'm in those award shows, I am there to be the representation for the millions of women who are pro-life. By the way, I wore a pro-life is pro-woman dress at the Daytime Emmys. The millions of men and women who are pro-life, thank you, who are pro-Trump, who are conservative, and who are just pro-thinking differently. We don't have to agree on the same things, but let's fight for each other. And that's my thing. I say, listen, you don't even have to agree with me, but be bold. So I wear dresses at Daytime Emmys, Grammys, different places. Laura goes out there with her phone and asks the hard questions, handcuffs herself to the big tech places. What can you do? What can you do to stand up to these big tyrants? Find that out and then do it.
Go to freeloomer.com and you can read the complaint. And I think that it's a very interesting case study in this topic of tech censorship. And so hopefully by upholding the law and treating this as a civil rights issue, it can create some change.
Thank you.
Nice.
Mr. Mott.
I defer to Ms. Thurman again.
All right. I love what you said, Laura, about that. I think it is definitely a civil rights issue as well. We need to make it a protected group political affiliation, period. You should not be allowed to discriminate based on who you voted for or didn't vote for. You're not even supposed to disclose that. It's supposed to be a silent vote. No one's supposed to talk about that or care. But people get fired. In my business, I could be blacklisted. I actually am blacklisted from some groups. But I'm just so loud and proud that they can't really ignore me, and I create noise, and I do it within my flow. So dresses, they're like, the Hollywood Reporter has to write about fashion, they have to write about the Grammys, so then they have to write about me. And I know that. I do that on purpose but every other person, the single moms out there, the dads, the police officers who don't have that protection online, they'll just get canceled. They'll just get banned. They've never had a blue check mark. They never will. So it is up to us to speak proudly about that and openly. We need 100% transparency, period. We need to know what these algorithms are looking at, who's behind them, what we're being classified as. YouTube threatened to take down my Make America Great Again video. It doesn't violate anything. I'd written permission from every person in my video, and the only thing they said was, one person complained. I said, can I submit my documents? No, if one person complains, we take their side, take your video down within 48 hours. I complained. I went to Twitter. I went everywhere. Went to all my social media, which I'm blessed to still have. And finally they said, actually, if you blur that face, we'll let you keep it. So they won't say anything until you fight this, but it shouldn't be that hard for us as conservatives to just have a voice. So we need absolute transparency. Federal regulation, no, it's not going to do anything. I want less government control. I mean, come on, we don't want it like the DMV. No, please. But we need transparency. We need to have a protected group of political affiliation, and that's just what needs to happen.